Well, hello there, people of the internet, and hello again. I'm TheMBmulti. Welcome to part 41 of my Let's Play Doki Doki Encore. In the previous episodes, we had a sort of a date with Monika. We walked up a giant mountain with a lot of stairs, and Monika talked a little bit about how this game isn't real, of course, how this reality isn't real and it's a game, and she was like trying to poke a little bit at what my character or what I would think about that. And I answered correctly. Because I said that, because she asked if there would be, if I would present evidence to you that your life is fake, would you consider it or deny it outright? And then I said I would consider it because, you know, I was thinking if this would happen in real life, I would consider it because, you know, if they show tangible evidence, like there's no point in denying it because it's just solid evidence. Has to be solid though. But, you know. So I said I would consider it, and Monika was happy about that, because that's the choice, of course, she wanted to hear. Anyway, but then afterwards, she diverted back to being a psychopath and said that everybody else has to die. Which I find a bit weird, because I feel like it would be better for Monika to kind of like realize that the others are needed too. But I guess she will realize that eventually. Maybe, maybe not, we'll see. Anyway, let's skip a little bit. Oh yeah, because yeah, we had that, yeah. Yeah, sweet dreams, my love. Silver nerve from the whole experience. My heart is racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour, warm sweat is crawling down my neck, and I feel this sense of dread. Can't exactly tell from what. Look at my alarm clock. This is some paradise, huh? I lightly mused to myself. Yeah, I would go back to sleep, but I'd rather not listen to any more of that voiced creepy ramblings. But I think I pretty much decided my feelings for Monika. Yeah, and then, yeah, okay. Seems like the voice likes it when I'm around Monika for some reason, but I don't know why that would be. Unless my subconscious is trying to get me to man up, which I guess isn't really a bad thing. Hey, Mark. Hi, Sayori. Thanks for the hug. I ended up telling Sayori all about what I experienced last night with the voice. I was sure to mention the empty room to her as well. Needless to say, she was just as disturbed as I was. I also explained to Sayori that the other two dreams were like, as well. It's the best of my memory. Yeah, okay. Was expecting what? Oh, I got a text. I got it in text. It's from Monika. Can't say I was expecting that. Hey, Mark. I blink a couple of times at the screen to make sure that it's really Monika. She even sent me a smiling emoji. It's almost too good to be true. Hey, what's up? Monika almost instantly replies. Pretty good. Pretty good. Except for me knocking my mic over just now. Just waiting for my teacher to get here. Yeah, same here. I find it odd that Monika would choose me of all people to make small talk with. Still, it's not like an opportunity like this comes up often. So, how's your morning been so far? It's been pretty good actually, thank you. I had the chance to write some more lyrics for my song, so it shouldn't be too much longer before I'm finished. That's great, can't wait to hear it again. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'd love to hear your opinion on what I have for the second verse. I'm not entirely sure if I'm sold on the way it rhymes. If you want, before the club officially starts, we can head off back to the music room again together. I contemplate my response. I mean, we've been hanging out pretty frequently this week, and it's been a wonderful experience each time. I'm not an expert on writing music or anything, but I'd love to help you out. Aw, thanks, you're so sweet. As if I wasn't already blushing enough from the compliment, Monika sends me a kissing face emoji accompanied with her last text. It's a good thing nobody's paying any attention to me right now. I'll see you at the club. Want to see you at lunch? Oh, okay, I'm gonna be sitting by myself today, apparently. I still need to think things over. I set my phone down as I finish pulling out the last few things I need for class. As soon as I finish, I hear my phone go off with another text from Monika. It's okay, I'll see you at the club. Got to go, bye. Bye. Okay, I was expecting Monika to enter psycho mode right then and there, but apparently she took that well. Even though I expected that to be the end of the conversation, Monika once again sends me a kissy face emoji, which continued to make me blush. There's no way I could have gotten this lucky. Monika's been acting incredibly flirty with me since we finally started talking. It's enough to make me want to kick myself because I should have started talking to her sooner. Still, I'm just looking forward to spending more time with Monika. And I have a feeling this time we may get the chance to do more than talk about music. Right, and talk to Sayori. Oh yeah, and then she saw me walking off with Monika together. So you walk off, yeah. That time I believe it, because on the other when I was on a date with Yuri and Natsuki, I met them somewhere else. I met Yuri at the train station and I met Natsuki at school. But Sayori still said, I saw you walk off with Yuri and Natsuki in those times, which is impossible because I walked away from home on my own and then I met them there. So, you know, this makes sense. I saw you walk off with Monika. That makes, because she teleported next to my house, so that makes sense. Yeah, well, what did I say? Monika and I just took a walk together. I believe you. Yeah, my guy says a stupid thing again and makes Sayori uncomfortable. Oh, and then Natsuki wants to talk. Then want you two to one. Well, hang on a minute. Weren't we supposed to go here before the club starts? Wasn't I supposed to go to the music room before the club starts? Okay. I thought we would... Okay, whatever. I don't want you two to wander off just right when we're about to start. You two disappeared yesterday. Why can't I get my time with him? Yeah, ladies, the cringiest way of settling that. I raise my hands calmly. We'll be right outside. It'll just be a few minutes. Just get us when you're about to start, okay? Monika lets out a defeated sigh. Fine, I'll give you 2 minutes. Right, and then Natsuki gives me her confession again. But after spending so much time with you since you joined, I couldn't help but open up to you. I couldn't stop feeling comfortable around you. You really let me be myself. On Sunday at the festival, I had so much fun being around you. You made me feel safe and accepted for once in my life. I thought maybe something could come out of it, when we almost kissed last Sunday. I think that was around the time I really started to fall for you, but you've been avoiding me this entire week. I've missed you a lot. I missed everything about you, your laugh, your smile. Even reading manga just wasn't the same without you. And seeing you spend time around the others really pissed me off. I couldn't figure out a good way to get your attention without getting too angry. So I decided to write some poems about how I felt, and it was from there that I decided I needed to tell you how I felt. I was too scared to tell you directly, so I decided to give you that special letter, my confession letter. I figured you must have read it. I heard of how you were kind of acting like a maniac like yesterday morning, and how awkward you've been acting around me lately. So I figured, well, there's no turning back now. I should just give it to you straight. I love you, okay? More than anything else in the world! Natsuki looks at me as if she couldn't believe the words that just came out of her mouth. At the same time, she looks as if the world has been lifted from her shoulder. Oh, okay, and here? What will Monika say after I spend so much time around her? Alright, and then... yeah. Of course that, and of course we have to say, I want to be just friends. And then, after showing a little bit of interest in me, now he tells me that you want to... But why the hell was that? Couldn't I skip that? Okay. I have a serious chance of getting with Monika. I don't think I should pass up that opportunity quite yet. We've gotten so far. Train of thought is interrupted as I hear screaming from inside the club room. Oh no. Part of me wants to simply walk away and never come back to that room. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid, but I asked for this, so I have to fix it somehow. I stand up and reluctantly open the door. I burst through the club room doors to find everything in complete disarray. I love how Sayori is like a bit friendly, like ooh, like friendly interested. Natsuki sitting face down on a nearby desk, sobbing uncontrollably. Sayori, Monika, and Yuri are all over Natsuki, attempting to calm her down. Natsuki, calm down, what happens? Natsuki briefly lifts her head up. As soon as she sees me, she immediately slams her face back into the desk, crying twice as hard and louder than before. So Yuri, Monika, and Yuri all exchange looks, bewildered at the situation they found themselves in. Natsuki? So Yuri attempts to place her hand on Natsuki. However, Natsuki slaps it away as hard as she can, making Sayori howl in pain. Don't fucking touch me! Don't even try to act all buddy-buddy with me, you whore! I know you just want him all to yourself. You acting nice is just for show, and we all know it. Piss off! The room becomes dead quiet as Natsuki finishes her insult. Yuri looks as if she's about to have a full-on panic attack. Monika still looks completely bewildered. So Yuri looks as if she's about to break down and cry as Natsuki angrily stares her down. Okay, if you want to be like that. So Yuri promptly walks back to her original seat and tries her hardest to fight back tears of her own. Monika and Yuri immediately turn to me. What did you do? I didn't do anything! Natsuki resumes her sobbing. Mark, step outside with me for a moment. She says sternly? Yeah, sternly. Monika then turns to Yuri. Yuri, try to see if you can calm her down, okay? I see the color drain from Yuri's face. Yuri seems visibly uncomfortable with Monika's request, but given the gravity situation, she nevertheless accepts it. I'll try. Monika takes me by the wrist and walks me out of the club room. Just before leaving, I hear a snippet of Yuri's efforts to calm Natsuki. Natsuki? Get away from me, you edgy psycho bitch! Edgy? Who are you calling edgy, you lowly? Monika shuts the door before I can hear the end of Yuri's response. The only thing we're able to make out is muffled yelling and screaming. What happens? I turned Natsuki down. She took it that bad, huh? I'm afraid so. I told her that I didn't like her back the same way, even though I offered to hang out with her more. It's safe to say that offer was rejected, though. She ended up slapping me pretty badly. Monika nearly gasps as I show her Natsuki's slap mark. While it doesn't nearly hurt as bad as a few minutes ago, it still feels rather tender. I see. Monika nervously grimaces as she tries to assess the situation. Well, I'm sure we can sort things out with her. She just needs a little time to cool off. Well, with how she reacted, I doubt it's going to be anytime soon. Yeah, you're probably right. She started screaming and cursing at me the moment I came back from talking to you. She came back from talking to you. Wow. I've never seen her mad like this. It's concerning to say the least. I'm really sorry I brought you into this, Monika. I didn't even bring you up or anything. It was all her. I'm not mad at you, Mark, don't worry. It's clear that Natsuki's had this pent up for a while now. And I'm sure she'll get over it and come to respect our relationship. Whatever we decide to make of it. A grin forces its way onto my face as Monika says that. Monika begrudgingly looks at the door, where we can still make out the screaming from the others. Well, so much for getting Natsuki to calm down. What are we going to do? I'll try talking to her one-on-one, see if that does anything. I'm the one she has a problem with anyways. Just try not to say anything to her, okay? Alright. Well, here goes nothing. Monika nervously smiles as she swings open the door. Wow. As soon as she does, however, we're forced to duck as a textbook almost immediately flies over our heads. Wow, Natsuki. Great throw for a dwarf. Natsuki clenches her fist and lets out an angry grunt. Take back what you said right now, you cutting-obsessed whore. Only after you take back your accusation of me being a member of a satanic cult, you flat-chested dumpster diver. Again, Yuri's insults are still the best. Flat-chested? That's it. Natsuki threateningly raises her fist at Yuri. Alright, and then we can skip the rest. I mean, what reason do they have to suspect? Suspect what? Yeah, you're the one. You want to talk, considering you're coming here crying your eyes out because Mark turned you down. Monika really shouldn't have said that. Oh, and you wouldn't have done the same? Why is everyone accusing Monika of being... What do you mean, why is everyone accusing... I mean, what reason did they have to suspect? He just hung out as friends, even despite us having our moments. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, so the rest of the argument is the same. And then the phone vibrates and the message is from Monika, of course. If you're free, I want to talk about what happens in person. I contemplate my response. Considering how Monika behaved earlier, I'm not sure if I want to be around her right now. She acted like a completely different person. It was kind of terrifying. But maybe she just wants to apologize for her behavior. Maybe I should see her just to make sure she's doing okay. Almost used up all the save slots. Should I let Monika come over? Well, of course I'll say yes. I should smooth things over with Monika. I start texting her back. Yeah, if you want, you can come over to my place. Monika quickly replies back. Alright, I'll be right over. Just got out of the nurse's office. Why were you in the nurse's office? Oh yeah, because Natsuki punched her, that's right. I hope Natsuki didn't punch you too hard. I hope Yuri didn't slap you too hard. It was nothing too bad, thankfully. Just got an ice pack. Everything feels fine now. Why did Yuri slap you, even? Well, I guess she dished out some mean insults to Yuri, too. Oh yeah, that's right, because she was supporting Yuri first, and then... yeah, or whatever. I can't remember exactly, but, you know, I've watched the previous episodes where that happened, because, you know, I don't want to read all of it again. I'm glad to hear it. I'll see you in a bit. Sounds good. You gonna teleport again, Monika, or... After I text Monika my address, you already know where I live. I put down my phone and stare back at my ceiling. Man, what am I even going to say to her? This day's been a complete catastrophe. I don't even know what I'm going to say to Monika, let her know what she's going to say to me. Maybe she just wants to make sure I'm not actually quitting the literature club. I mean, I haven't known her to be a shallow person, but today all my expectations went out the window. Oh well, at least the least I could do is try tidy up the living room for Monika's arrival. I get off of my bed and head downstairs to start cleaning up the living room. Just as I finish cleaning up... Okay, you didn't teleport. I hear the doorbell. Coming. I take a deep breath before walking over and opening the door. As expected, I find Monika waiting on my porch. She smiles at me through a pained, somber expression. I wordlessly invite her in. After closing the door behind us, I lead Monika to the living room. We both take our seats on the couch, unable to make consistent eye contact with one another. I bow my head as I try to figure out something to break the tension. Not even sure where to begin. She really didn't need to escalate things with Natsuki like that. But I'm pretty sure the reason this whole thing started to begin with... I'm the reason why it all started to begin with. So I'm probably the one to blame for all this. And that's fine with me. Monika finally looks me in the eyes as she winces in pain. I decide to break the ice. Who knew Natsuki can hit so hard, huh? Monika and I share a nervous laugh that quickly fades after a few seconds. Well, she's stronger than she looks, that's for certain. In hindsight, we did learn a lot about everybody today. That's one way of putting it. I just wish it didn't have to come to this. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. I didn't even want everyone to fight over me. I didn't want everyone to fight over me. I didn't think everyone liked me to begin with. Dealing with Natsuki was hard enough, but I don't think I can process all four of you liking me. Is it true that what Natsuki said? Is it true that you were writing that song just for me? Was this surprise for me all along? Monika tightens her fists as she closes her eyes. No, her eyes are still open. She sniffs a couple of times before finally speaking. Yes, Monika says as her voice breaks. I jar back in surprise. Really? Monika finally breaks. Yes, I wrote you a song. It was meant to celebrate your time with us in the literature club. But over time, it took on a different meaning. I put in so much thought and emotion into how I felt about you, that it became so much more than just a simple celebration song. It became a love song about us. Monika starts sobbing as I sit there stunned in silence. How did I not see this coming? More importantly, Monika spent all the time on something just for me? I hand Monika my tissue box. She gently plucks a tissue from the box and uses it to wipe her tears away. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, no problem. We sit for the next few moments in silence. I sit there frozen in shock as I attempt to process the situation. I guess my chances of getting with Monika were better than I thought all along. But with how she acted out today, I'm a little shaky on everything. I've been thinking about what we could be for a while now, Mark. Ever since we've started talking, I've never felt better. You haven't failed to put a smile on my face or make me laugh once. I can truly be myself around you. I don't have to act all formal around you. And I know you just don't want me to boost your ego or status around the school. You're definitely not like most guys I've had to put up with. And you've been a fantastic member of the literature club. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I really enjoyed having you in my club, and I wouldn't want to lose you. My face is flushed with embarrassment as Monika finishes her speech. I never expected to have this kind of impact on Monika in such a short time. I tried to fumble out some sort of answer. Well, Monika, I really appreciate everything you said there. And I don't want to leave the club after all. I don't want to leave the club at all. I love it there. And I love talking to you too. But you crossed the line with what you said to Natsuki. It's not something I'd ever expect to hear coming from someone like you. You're better than that. I know. I know I went too far with what I said. Just something in me snapped. Well, in any case, I really think you two should apologize to each other. I hope we will. I only got hope that everything will be resolved tomorrow. Are you sure that we can move past all this that soon? I don't think we've ever had a fight this bad. Just trust me on this. Just trust me on this one, okay? I'll try. So, are you coming back to the club tomorrow? I briefly paused to think it over. Well, if Monika plans to apologize to Natsuki, I should probably be there to smooth things over with everyone else. I'll do it. I should probably apologize to Natsuki as well. Getting rejected isn't easy, and I let her on when I shouldn't have. I should talk to the others to make sure there's no other misunderstandings. That sounds like a plan. So, are we cool? As long as you promise not to act that way again, and you go through on your promise to apologize, then yes. That's fair. Thank you for giving me this chance to talk to you. After everything, it's the least I can do. I hope you feel better too. Oh, thanks, I appreciate it. I offer Monika a handshake. She outstretches her hand and gently wraps her fingers around mine. We awkwardly shake hands for a few seconds before we decide that it was a little too formal for use. Oh, I thought she was gonna pull me in for a hug or something. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Mark. Rest up. Thanks, you too. I lead Monika out the door and gently close it behind her. I watch out the window as Monika gracefully walks off the horizon in the direction of school. That wasn't too bad, I mumbled to myself. I'm still a little surprised Monika went out of her way to make sure everything was alright with me. Even though she was awful during that fight, I'm glad she recognized her mistakes. I just hope everything goes smoothly tomorrow. After finishing my nightly routine, I finally collapse on my bed, letting its comforting feeling take me with open arms. As I slowly drift off to sleep, I begin to reflect on my talk with Monika earlier. I'm glad that we were able to work things out and come to an understanding, but I still have my work cut out for me. Things are going to be a mess with Natsuki, and I'm probably going to have to start from square one again with Sayori. Damn it, I forgot the texture. Fucking genius, you idiot. She's probably asleep by now. Keeping distance for the day was probably for the best. Well, tomorrow's going to be so much fun. Try my best not to think about it too much and just save up my energy. It's going to be eventful and stressful no matter how it goes down. Hopefully there's no more stupid nightmares too. With my prayer complete, I finally drift off to sleep. I can't fail now, not while I'm so close. And this is the same. Oh, you played your part beautifully, my love. We'll be together very soon. I just need to tidy up a few things. Just stick to the script tomorrow, and whatever you do, don't help them. Just let everything play out naturally. And when the time comes, you help me untie their knots. Tomorrow will be the day. Tomorrow I will be free. and there'll be nothing keeping us apart. Okay. Yeah, I was putting the dish away. Thought keeps up my mind. Monika. Everything's going to go down with her. I'm sure that Monika can smooth things over with Natsuki, but are things really going to be the same all after today? I don't think Monika is the type of person who can just forgive a person for hitting her like that. But it's been a strange few days. Who knows what will happen? I still need to sort everything out with Sayori as well. Hopefully she'll meet me outside. Yeah, then she leaves that poem. It really sucks that I'm going to have to choose between her and Natsuki? Oh, Sayori, okay. I never wanted that to happen. Right. Oh, that's Yuri first, okay. I see a flash of purple before it retreats from my sight. It's alright, Yuri, come on in. I tried to sound as inviting as possible, but I probably ended up coming across as just sarcastic. Still, she seems to have accepted the invite. Yuri slowly opens the rest of the door and steps into the club room. We struggle to make eye contact with one another, let alone speak to each other. Hello, Mark. Hey, Yuri. Yuri carefully sets her stuff down, but she doesn't sit. Instead, she turns around to face me. She looks restless, yet remorseful. I can't say I don't blame her. She deserves to feel like that after what she did to Sayori. I catch myself mid-thought. Now I see what Sayori meant. She didn't want me to have these malicious and vengeful thoughts about the others. I wanted to say now, before anyone else gets here, that She struggles to form her next words. Her face is bright red with embarrassment as I see tears start to form in her beautiful violet eyes. I'll lend her a hand here. It's alright, Yuri. I think you should save it for later. I imagine we'll probably all talk about what happened yesterday and try to find a way forwards, not just as a club, but as friends. Yuri hastily nods at me before sitting down. She opens a book, but quickly puts it down and faces me again. You don't hate me, do you, Mark? I struggle to find the right words to articulate my feelings towards Yuri at the present moment. I want to avoid upsetting Yuri. I don't hate you, Yuri. Yuri lets out a relief sigh. Oh, thank goodness. But I'm still very disappointed with you for what you said to Sayori especially. And how you treated Monika was beyond impropriable. Yuri's relieved expression quickly wavers and falls back to her timid state. Oh, I see. Well, I hope I can make things right today. Me too, Yuri. I just hope that Natsuki... Oh, there she is. Before Yuri could finish a sentence, the door opens and Natsuki enters the room. She looks to Yuri, who quickly buries herself in a book. Natsuki's eyes then lock onto mine as I continue my icy stare. She tries to say something, but she quickly catches herself and brushes past us to get to the closet. I quietly sigh to myself. I'm not looking forward to talking to her. And then Monika and Sayori enter. Yeah, Monika's smiling over there. Alright, so I think it's only fair for him to... Yeah, given that we were all arguing about Mark yesterday and our bickering made him walk out on us, I think it's only fair for him to voice his thoughts on yesterday before anything else is said. Right, I really don't know what to say here. And what's there to say? The whole being jerks to each other yesterday, they know it. But what I say next could very well determine if this club continues to stay together. And it's time I finally come to terms with my feelings. I take a moment to collect my thoughts before letting out a sigh and finally starting. Look, the truth is I have feelings for Monika. I've always wanted to spend some time around her. And, well, I've had a lot of fun. One by one, the girls shoot each other an irritated, dejected look at me, but Monika only smiles. I really don't think there's anything that's going to change that. I want to be in a relationship with her, and not to spite any of you. I briefly make eye contact with Monika. But because I've come to realize lately, I really like her. We have a strong, warm relationship, and I'd like to continue with that. I turn to Monika, giving her the opportunity to weigh in. Right. Monika clears her throat and adopts a humbler posture. So I know how unprofessional this may look on my part, but it's true that Mark and I have been spending some time outside of the club recently. I don't believe there's anything inherently wrong with that. I see it as my duty as club president to ensure that we all get to know each other and grow closer together. After all, Mark and I haven't really gotten to spend much time together since he first joined. We only started talking this week. I didn't expect that Mark and I would hit it off so well, and I do like him back. I'll also admit that I knew that everybody in the club was interested in him, so I made my move. Wow. I'm sorry that I didn't talk to any of you first, but I was done waiting for my chance to talk to Mark. I didn't mean to divide the club like this. I never wanted to hurt anyone. That was never my intention. Okay, but I see no real reason why Mark and I shouldn't be allowed to be together, if that's what he so chooses. Wait, you knew we liked him? And you still went for him without talking to us first? In hindsight, I wish I would have done that, but I wasn't expecting everyone to have this kind of reaction. I mean, Monika, how do you think we'd react? You knew I confessed to him. He's my best friend. Well, I'm not sure what we are anymore. I'm sorry, Sayori. Honestly, Monika, what you did was very scummy. I knew I would have appreciated a discussion with you about all this prior to you making any moves. Not to mention, how did you know? I don't think that's important. It is. I'd appreciate an honest answer from you. For once. Monika sighs. Let's just say when you're the club president, you notice a lot of things about your members. Then you should have known that we wouldn't have reacted. Very kindly to this. Look, I said I'm sorry. I just told everyone that I didn't mean for this to happen. What more do you want from me? Somehow, Monika, I'm getting the feeling that you're not being genuine here. I mean, Natsuki did punch me. You brought my dad. Guys, enough! We're here to fix things, not make them worse. Can we all just apologize for yesterday and agree to never let it happen again? I'll wait for my apology to be taken seriously first. Otherwise I think I'm done here. Monika, wait! Monika simply ignores me as she turns and walks out the door. Everyone sits in stunned silence for a moment as we process what had just happened. Natsuki's the first to break the silence. Well, some club president she is. She calls that an apology? Yeah, I don't think she was really being genuine. Look, I'm going to talk to her. Everyone here does owe each other an apology. Monika definitely needed to word that better, but I think she really meant it. In the meantime, you three should work things out between yourselves. I'll be back. Try not to antagonize each other, please. Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri share an awkward glance with each other as I stand up and leave the room to find Monika. Monika! Monika! Where are you? Oh, no dummy. Good. That's only for Sayori. Damn it, where could she be? I wander up and down the halls aimlessly, looking for any sign of her. I spent the next few minutes peering into nearly every classroom on this floor, though I eventually conclude that Monika has gone elsewhere. Where could she possibly be? I wonder aloud. I lean on the nearby locker as I rattle off possible ideas as to where Monika could have gone. I'd rather not search the whole school myself, and it's unlikely she left the school without her belongings. Maybe she went up to the roof. It's where I did show her Natsuki's letter, and it's probably the most peaceful place in the school right now. It probably wouldn't hurt to check there. I set off towards the stairwell to go up to the roof. I push open the doors leading to the rooftop and begin looking around for Monika. Sure enough, I spot a figure staring at the fence railing. Surely enough, it turns out to be Monika. Monika? Monika turns around startled. Oh, hey Mark. I didn't see you there. Sorry, didn't mean to sneak up on you. You doing okay? Monika forces out an awkward laugh. Yeah, I feel the same way about this too. You could have worded things better back there, though. I know. I'm still a little unnerved by everything. I get that, and honestly, you have every right to be, considering what happened yesterday. I'm glad we got to sort out things between us yesterday. If we can settle aside our differences, then I know we can do the same for Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri. How could you be so sure? We know them best, Monika. They're not complete strangers to us. I just think everyone's on edge, so I don't blame you for still holding this against them. But you still chose to have the club go on, to have us sit down and talk things out. It's what you promised. Mark, to tell you the truth, I'm wondering if it's really worth going through with this effort if that promise can be properly upheld. I care about the club, I really do. I want this to be a welcoming place for everyone to enjoy their passions for literature. I want to work things out with everyone. But what happened yesterday, and with how they reacted to my apology, I don't think the club can be saved, Mark. Monika! Mark, look, I know you like me, and honestly I feel the same way about you too. We've established that. If the others aren't going to accept this and let us be together, then I see no reason why we should continue to associate ourselves with them. This whole meeting was a waste of time. I should have just reported Natsuki to the principal's office and be done with her. It was hard enough to hide what happened from my parents. Monika, can't you just try one last time to make things right with them? Just try rewording your apology better. It just came out the wrong way. Back at this point, do you really think they'll accept any apology with how they treated me back there? I think it's too late for things. We should just go. We just go back, grab our stuff, and move forward, forgetting together without them. Then maybe they'll come around. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but can we just get out of here? On one hand, Monika may be right. Things are way too hot in the literature club right now. Maybe we need a few extra days to let things cool down. And how could I refuse an opportunity to spend more time with Monika, especially since she just admitted she liked me back? This is a golden opportunity for us. But I don't want to see the club fall apart because of petty differences, or because of me. I'm not sure if it's really worth the trade-off. And I did start today with the hope that we can put everything behind us, but this isn't exactly what I had in mind. Whoa, here we go. Ask Monika to come back to the club or leave the school with Monika. Now, I feel like Monika has to learn that she can't just fucking kill them all, or delete them all, or whatever. Like, they're just, you know, she came to that realization in, when I was on the other routes, you know? Where she finally figured out, like, alright, well, it's my bad for wanting to delete them. So, you know, now that I'm on Monika's route, you should figure that out as well, Monika. You should figure out that, and who knows, maybe they will all be friendly and accepting by the time we get back, who knows. So I feel like this has to be the good choice. I mean, I guess this will lead to just us sitting in that room together. You know? Come on, we need to give it one shot, Monika. We only have one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Monika, come on. This is our club. You literally build it up from the ground. You literally build it from the ground up. I don't want to see you throw it away. You may not believe it now, but you're a great club president, and I believe in you. You just need to put your best foot forward, brave the storm, and just be the best that you can be. If the others don't like it, well, that's on them. You did everything you could, but I think you should but I don't think you should give up on them now. Please, stay and try to work things out. Monika? Monika uneasily glances back at the stairwell I just came from. For a moment, I'm not sure if I got through to her or not. But then a smile creeps across Monika's face. Alright, Mark, we can do it that way. Thanks, Monika. Why? I don't like this song, background music. It means a lot that you're willing to try and make this work. Come on, let's head back. Monika and I start walking towards the stairwell. Hey, Mark? Yeah? You know, quite to the contrary. I'm willing to do anything to make this work. Glad to hear it. As you're walking to get to the stairwell, the door suddenly slams shut. That's new. I attempt to pull the door open, but the door is locked in place. Is this a joke? Are we seriously stuck up here? Oh, relax, Mark. What? We're not going back to the club room. What are you talking about? Whoa! Without warning, Monika's eyes suddenly glow bright emerald green as she grabs onto my shoulders. I'm barely able to choke out a cry of pain as I feel my energy being drained out. I try to push Monika up, but no matter what I do, I'm unable to escape Monika's grasp. My eyes keep staring into Monika's as if they're frozen in place. My vision is filled with red blood. I can't even blink. My arms and legs feel completely numb. My lungs cry out for me to breathe, to take a breath, but my throat refuses to do so. I hear nothing but ringing in my ears. My head feels as if it's about to crack into two. I feel entirely weightless. My body is sending so many signals to my brain that I can barely process what's going on. Can't even defend myself. Surely enough, I begin to lose consciousness. Or is it death's embrace? The last thing I see before everything goes dark is Monika's glowing green eyes dominating my vision. Don't worry, we'll still do things my way, or your— what did you say? Yeah, we'll still do things your way. Okay. Okay, and then this is the same again, where Monika explains that this is all a game. Alright, so here we are. Well, I'll save it. I'm gonna do the explorative options again, because of course, if you enter the code, everybody dies, and, you know, Monika doesn't learn anything, because I really feel like Monika should be learning how to do something, like, you know, that killing them is not the answer. Right, well, and I'm guessing that the password would be Monika this time. Alright, let's try Monika. Oh, what the hell? Come on! Oh, I kind of, well, to be honest, I kind of did expect that to work. Okay, well, hang on. Let's load it. Why isn't that the correct answer? Alright, let's skip. Okay, it's the girl whose route you're on. Okay. So Natsuki was the correct answer. I thought because I was on Monika's route that Monika would be the correct answer, but okay, so it's Natsuki. Because I started off on Natsuki's route. Alright. I can't even... It's just Monika, just Monika, just Monika, just Monika. I mean, come on. Couldn't you at least give me a, like, Sayori or something as an option? Or maybe Yuri. I mean, I understand you can't put Natsuki on there because I deliberately ignored, I deliberately turned down her confession, you know? But, like, what the hell? This is... It's not dragging my mouse too much. Like, ah! Oh yeah, Monika. Want to be in a relationship with Monika. Mark, you're serious? After everything I've done? All the horrible sins I've committed just to try to win you over? You still want me? I do. Why? Monika, I've always wanted to be with you. You've always been the girl of my dreams. You're smart, funny, talented, and just about everything. I just never knew how to approach someone as incredible as you. I just didn't think someone as average as me could ever be with someone as perfect as you. I even think I speak for the player in that regard. And I even knew you liked, and I never knew you liked me back, let alone how far you were prepared to go to win me over. Well, I can't condone what you did. I do think you need someone to help you learn how to forgive yourself for what you did. I think that person that can best help you do that is me. So I want to give you a second chance. Let me help you earn everyone's trust back. That way you can learn to forgive yourself and move on. I know you want someone who knows you're just more than what you make yourself out to be. You're more than just some cute schoolgirl, Monika. You've always been much more than that. Let me be the first person who treats you what you're really worth. I promise you won't be disappointed. Monika seems to be on the verge of either bursting out in pure joy or break down crying again. After taking a brief moment to collect herself, Monika finally looks on with a warm smile. Mark, I no one has ever left me that speechless. And no one has ever shown me the level of kindness that you've shown me. Even after everything I just did, I really want to be in a relationship with you too, but you really think I'm deserving of that? Monika, you deserve to find happiness. Yeah, well, it's a bit. I mean, you know, she does feel remorse for what she did after I took her powers away, but you know, that's only after I take her powers away. It would be much more powerful if Monika was still like you know, like Monika still had all full control, and only then did she deliberately decide to give up her powers or whatever to, because she felt so bad about what she was doing all the time. You know, that would be a lot more powerful than me taking her powers away and only then Monika feeling, oh yeah, shit, that was actually pretty bad of me for me to do that, you know? So, and also I feel like I'll save that for the end. But yeah, it would have been a lot more powerful if Monika deliberately like gave up her powers. Like she felt remorse before she even did anything, you know? Or after she did things. But out of her own accord, she like gave up her powers because she felt that you know, she wasn't being fair to everyone. What you did was wrong, and you have a lot of work to do to fully earn back everyone's trust, but I want to help you. I want you to better yourself. I don't want to see someone like you fall back into their old ways. I care too much about you to let that happen. Yeah, that's a bit true, you know, like when she finally does realize that what she's doing is wrong. You know, like I won't do it, like, you know, I would, like I said, if she would have done a bit more with the sympathy cards, where she's like, oh, hang on, like, don't you know how fucking, how easy it is to go insane when you know that you're the only real person here and everybody else is just reading off the script what they're told to do all the time. Like, you know, like, yeah, if you know that that's the only way back, you know, like, I don't want her to fall back into her psycho ways again, you know? Like, I do genuinely, like, want her to find happiness like that. I see. Well, if that's what you want, Mark, then I'd be happy to be officially yours. Still can't really believe it's finally happening. I think I need a moment to digest it all this. Everyone's going to want to get their final say in before we go, so I won't delay them any longer. Before I step aside for a moment, I do want to say that I'm extremely grateful for all you've done here. You've been there for us through our worst and best times. You helped the others start to forgive me. And put me on the path towards learning how to forgive myself. It's not something most people would do, Mark. Really are one of us. And I'm glad you're a member of the literature club. This place really wouldn't be the same without you. It wouldn't even exist without you. You're the best member of the club I've had the privilege of knowing. And I'm looking forward to what's to come for us. Thank you again, Mark. I'll be back in a minute. Monika and I share one last smile with each other before she walks off to the front of the room, out of earshot. Feel a tap on my shoulder. To my surprise, I turn around to see it's Sayori. A flurry of emotions are on her face. I knew sooner or later things were going to come to this. Hey, Mark. Sayori, how are you doing? Well, I'm not sure I really know the right words for that. Well, I always knew it was going to be a long shot for us to ever be a couple. The only chance of that was in the base game. It's just not meant to be. Sayori, you're a great girl and an awesome friend, and I know one day you'll find someone who loves and cares for you. I appreciate it. I think you and Monika will be a great couple. I always knew you had feelings for her. You know me too well. Well, I do. Still, I do want to share my concern about something, Mark. Sure, anything. Look, I'll support your decision either way, and want you to be happy. And I want to forgive Monika too, but she did so many horrible things to us. I just want to jump into a relationship with her. Look, I completely understand. This is all new, okay? I completely understand that you don't trust her right now, and for a good reason. She needs to earn everyone's trust back, and she needs to learn to forgive herself first. I think I'm in the best position to make sure that she doesn't fall back into her old ways. We both know she deserves happiness just like we all do. I know. I just wish things weren't so sudden. I get that, I'm sorry. But I'm glad you're going to be helping Monika out. She needs you, Mark. I just still hope we can be friends. Of course, Sayori, of course. I still want to be friends with you. Good. Don't know what I'd do if you had said no. Okay, and then this is the same again. Can help for your depression. Cinnamon bun. Alright, Natsuki. Okay, I thought Natsuki would be last because usually like the person that... Or like the last before Monika, you know? But usually the person that gives you the love letter is the second to last person. Or, you know? Yeah. At first we both struggled to find the right words to say to each other, given our history, but for once she's the first to break the ice. I'll cut right to the chase, Mark. You want to be with Monika after everything she just did? I heard everything you said to Sayori, so you don't need to repeat yourself to me. But I just hope you know what you're doing. I understand your concern, and I promise you Monika is going to change. And be a better person, given time. Well, I guess that's all I can really ask for. You know, we've had quite a ride, you and me. Yeah, it's really been something. Okay, and this is the same again. I hope everything goes well between you and Monika. Yep. Yuri says sweetly as she heads out the door. Hi, Monika. Monika walks back up to me as Yuri exits the club room. Well, that wasn't terrible. I really was expecting harsher reactions. Everyone's willing to give you another chance, Monika. You just have to earn it. I know, and I want to earn their trust back. I'm willing to do it. The right way this time. I just hope I can do it. Well, why don't we talk about that tonight? Just you and me. You want to take me out somewhere? Yeah, I do. I think we both have earned an evening to ourselves to relax and digest what happened. You're really too kind, Mark. Well, there's no use staying around here. Shall we go? You go on ahead. I'll meet you at my place later. Okay, see you soon, Mark. Monika and I exchange one last smile before she too heads out and disappears into the hallway. I sink back in a chair as Monika leaves the club room. Taking in the newfound silence. It's finally over. All the tears, all the name calling, all the temper tantrums. Yeah, that's all the same. This really is no ordinary literature club. And then we have one more bit here. I take a seat down on my steps and take in the view of my neighborhoods. Yeah, and then Monika has a lot of work. Yeah, oh yeah, that's make sure she fairly earns it. After all, who knows how much her time Monika's bought us? Are we going to cross over this world? Don't know. Am I real? Monika. Oh, I care about them with all my heart. Monika the most. She'll need us now more than ever to help her learn how to forgive herself and how to become a better person. Another player cares about her just as much as I do. I hope we can both care and watch over her together. Thank you, whoever you are. You'll always be welcome in the literature club. Hey, Mark, ready to go? You know it. I take Monika's hand as we walk off towards it to enjoy our evening together. I think I'll finally get around to giving her that Camilla I got during... Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, I don't get to see that? Okay. And that's it then, huh? Da-na-na-na-na. It's banned by the poem of me and you. Alright, is there going to be anything different here? No, this is still the same to the player. Alright, so that is the ending, the good ending for Monika. Okay. Yeah, okay, so, I did have the most fun with Monika's ride, I think. I love the fact that she like still kind of like, because of course she still knew that this was a game and she still tried to win me over. Second chances, she was like happy that I chose her, and then but also afraid to lose it again, because that's why there were so, not really nightmares, but yeah, just a couple jolts in the to get me in the right direction, you know. Thought it was fun. Do feel like the ending could have been a bit better, because I kind of don't like the fact that I once again had to take away her powers for her to be friendly again. And only, you know, I take away her powers and only then does she realize, oh, hang on a minute, I'm being an asshole for trying to murder these guys. Because I thought that she was already quite well on the way of trying to understand that the others were needed. Well, they didn't really need to, that she like, you know, she couldn't just kill them off. Because, but then again, she did that all just completely went out the window, and she was like, oh yeah, there we go. When you said go back to the club, I'll just fucking use my powers to fucking do all this shit again. You know, so I feel like it would have been a bit better if Monika decided on herself to give up her powers or whatever. Like when I say, let's head back to the club, Monika, and make friends with everyone. That instead of going crazy and using her powers like that, Monika should have just said, should have just like sighed or whatever, like, oh, sure, I'll come along, and then on the way there or something, or maybe somewhere before or in between or whatever, Monika would realize, like, I'm getting what I want, you know, the person likes me, but, you know, like, I can't, he also cares for the others or whatever, so I can't just kill them off because that would hurt him or something like that. Or maybe she will realize that, you know, doing all the manipulative stuff is not the answer, and then she like apologizes, and then she reveals that this is all a game and whatever, and then, you know, you get a proper way to get with Monika without everyone being upset at her. I think that could have been a better version, but still it was all right. Yeah. There's one more thing I want to, of course I can't escape or whatever, so I'll Alt F4, and then I will really quickly go back to see what Monika does when I say that I don't want to go back to the club, that I just want to be with her. I just want to see what happens then.